I'm not used to it. I'm usually at sea level when I'm forced to exert myself. I hold my breath, straining my lungs and making the pounding in my head worsen, but it isn't worth it to let him find me. I force the image of him pinning me down, whispering his love for me. It stops the pain and pushes it away with intense amounts of fear. Ash! His voice sounds farther away, but I don't lift my head to look. I wait, because there is no way to be sure. My ears are still thick with the thin air and elevation. A hot shiver breaks out, making me breathe again. The feeling of a fever and possibly a sickness of sorts starts to surface. I don't know how long I've been here. I don't know how long I will last here in the woods, bleeding and cold. I do know I will die here, surrounded by trees and freezing before I will let him find me. His footsteps crunch, leading away from me, but his bellow is still audible. When I find you, you'll be punished for every day you hide. Make no mistake, Princess. I'll find you. The name Princess makes me want to vomit. Not violently and noisily, but the retching is difficult at this elevation. Regardless of not getting sick or making a sound, it makes me dizzier. I sit, wondering if he's messing with me, waiting for me to make the mistake of standing. But I'm not that dumb. Not to mention my legs are not that strong. They've sort of failed me in either paralyzing fear or crippling weakness. When I needed them to run, they worked, but now they're heavy, like they're soaked in concrete or caked in mud. My brain whispers something about adrenaline and lactic acid, but I don't care for the medical knowledge I have locked away from the 3 months of nursing courses I've taken. I care about getting off this hill and finding help. When I don't hear him again, I start to breathe normally. I don't move until I hear the Jeep. He skids away, driving like a maniac. The maniac I didn't know he was in the beginning. Now I am painfully aware. The adrenaline hits again. I force myself to stand, emerging from the forest in a ragged run toward the barn. I turn as I leave the woods, pushing my feet and legs as I make my way to the road. The drive up here to the cabin revealed several other cabins along the way. If I can get to one before he finds me, I might make it. I run into the ditch, splashing the frigid water up my legs as I make my way to the closest driveway. I'm out of breath and lightheaded, but clear-minded enough to realize the closest cabin is a mistake. He'll go there once he realizes I haven't made it to the bottom of the hill. I run past the second driveway, scrambling from the ditch and crossing it carefully. When I get to the third driveway, I almost run up it, but my twin brother's voice rings through my head. 3 times lucky. I don't know why. Perhaps because I'm dehydrated and exhausted and my mental state is a mess. The fourth driveway is a ways down the hill. The corners frighten me. I struggle to get past the ditches and rocks. My feet have stopped hurting, with the cold water making them numb. Breathlessly and staggering with a limp from my muscles freezing up, I turn and back up the driveway, forcing myself to watch the road and woods in case he's there somehow. He's smarter than I am. He's a fucking professor, for God's sake. My legs buckle, dropping me like a sack of rocks to the gravel. I wince, feeling the jarring in my neck, but I grip the cold rocks and scramble back up. A shrill noise rips through the air. I think it's an animal dying, but I don't know what kind it is. It sounds terrifying and close by. I hurry, limping brutally because the lower part of my left leg has gone totally numb. The cabin is nicer than his, but has no barn for the ATVs and snowmobiles. I hurry to the back, trying every window and door until I run out. None are left open or unlocked. Defeated and exhausted, I slide down the back of the door, desperate to rest a minute and listen for him. Every sound becomes louder as my breath softens in hesitation. I expect him to run from the woods at any moment, leash and collar in hand. I expect him to make me beg and make me tell him I love him and he's the man for me. I expect to die, crying and begging for it. Not his love, but death itself. My eyes long to close. My body whispers, let's give up.